It is Sunday, February 3rd, 2013, and today's random screenshot comes from Minari09 of the Balmung server, and she seems to be in the company of some rather important figures. Good morning, Eorzea. Nell Celestine here today, and we have very little news for you all from the community reps, as they're usually off for the weekends. However, we do have a few tidbits of community news for the RPC site, as well as a guest to discuss the outlook of the future for Realm Reborn as a whole. After all, today is also Sunday. We all know that today is the most important Sunday of the year. It's Chocobo Bowl Sunday! The Sade Aurochs are defending their championship title against the underdogs, the Midgard Serpents. Be sure to catch the whole game on your iMoogle phone. I'm placing my bets personally on the Serpents. I hear they're at 10 to 1 odds to win this year. Excuse me. I guess I better get to the meat and potatoes of why you're actually here. There was a new translation from the developers over on the Lodestone today. I believe it's from the German player base to the English, asking about in-game message boards for free companies. This seems like a rather popular request over on their side, and from the sounds of the replies on the forums here, it seems rather popular here too. They're considering to add it to the free companies eventually, and I personally am pretty cool with that. I think it looks and sounds really neat. Imagine if we could make like the bounty boards from Final Fantasy 12, where you send out members of your free company to go kill certain NMs or certain monsters and bring back the rewards. That would be pretty neat. Now, on to the RPC stuff. Endermarin, who I mentioned yesterday, has resigned from leading the major out-of-character shell over there called Backstage. It's a public shell mostly for the role players of the Balmung server. There's a fairly large amount of players that use that. He's now accepting nominations for a new leader of the shell. He's going to still be there as a leader, just not in charge of the whole thing anymore. He mentions he wants to have more of a hands-off style while working with the shell due to his other commitments. And I can see where the guy is coming from. Leading like an endgame shell, an RP shell, and a couple of others at the same time, that's a lot of work. And to lead this as well, yeah, I'm impressed that he's led it as long as he did. Well, I guess let's introduce today's guest. He's a newcomer to the realm of Eorzea. Please welcome Klarimel Surtsthalsyn. Wow, that's a terribly difficult name to pronounce. Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's good to be.
So, you're relatively new to the game. Did you join towards the end of 1.x, or you joined in between the downfall and coming back up?
I played in the very beginning when the game first came out, and it just wasn't good at that time, and didn't seem like it was going to stay around, so I quit and went to other things. And then I just recently came back during the little intermission after seeing that fairly incredible video they put out for Bahamut's Rage.
So you were there for the rather lumpy start at the beginning, I guess.
Yes, it took me about 30 minutes to even pay for the game, so I figured if they weren't going to try hard to even take my money, I don't think they would try hard for the game.
It sounds like a good point, but it does seem like it's turned around a lot. So, from your experience of just seeing the beginning and just seeing the changes, how do you feel the game has been developing?
Well, it seems that they're putting a lot more of themselves into it this time. They've changed the development team, so I've got high hopes.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that stands out to you?
Well, I like all the new monster designs they're putting in. They're adding a lot of stuff from the previous Final Fantasies, like they do in every game. Because like in the 1.0, they didn't have a lot of the classic stuff that they usually have.
Yeah, I remember seeing the first couple of screenshots that showed for the 2.0 version, and we saw Mandragolas? That's it. The little flower plant things that first made like a major appearance in Final Fantasy 11, and they look absolutely adorable in 2.0.
Yeah, I was always like the Mandragoras in 11.
Let's just hope they don't have that spam sleep skill.
Where they're not surrounded by goblins.
Good old days, good old days. But we're not here so much to talk about 11. But is there anything that you're kind of worried about so far going into 2.0?
Well, it's still the same developer, so it can still run into the same problems. What I'm mostly worried about is that the beta won't be long enough and they won't find out the problems in the rushed release.
I can kind of understand that, considering the first beta that they did. I mean, the first beta was what, only like 2 months?
Yeah, it's really not long enough, and most of the modes that come out today really release too soon.
Yeah, and I think when version 1 of the game came out, beta ended and the game actually shipped out 3 days later. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and it was almost unplayable.
Yeah, so I think Yoshi's pretty much on the ball. It looks like we've got probably about 4 months of beta testing, and then I'm assuming it'll probably be about a month or so, maybe before release. Because if I remember correctly, Phase 4 of the beta is early jumpstart, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
So everybody who's listening in, remember to try to join by Phase 4 to get an early jumpstart in on the game before it all goes live and pay to play. If you're a Legacy member, make sure you double check your beta access keys and your email on your Square Enix account. Those beta keys will probably be going out soon, along with the long-awaited benchmark. We got some previews for that recently, but we don't really have any release date on that. Is there any other comments you wanted to add, more so about the development or the where you're standing on your opinions for 2.0 yet?
Let's just say I'm hopeful, which is more I can say for a lot of what comes out these days.
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm sure everybody else is as well. Well, that's all I have for today's show. Thank you very much for joining me here.
All right, thank you.
Not a problem. As always, everybody, please leave your positive and negative comments in the box below. Share and subscribe if you haven't already, and you can send any screenshots you'd like via the private message over YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to Good Morning Eorzea. This is Nell Celestine bidding you adieu.